So Lauren and I were able to go to Busch Gardens in Tampa Bay, and we did 2 tours. We did the Aldabra Tortoise tour, and we also did the Gorilla Insider tour. I was able to get a lot of the Aldabra Tortoise tour on camera, but with the Gorilla Insider tour, I wasn't able to get as much due to the fact that they share a lot of our same DNA, and because of that, a lot of sicknesses and bacteria and stuff can be spread through contact, and while we were feeding them, we didn't want to try to, have the chance of getting them sick. So when we finished with the feeding, I was able to grab our equipment and be able to film as much footage as possible. These tours were fantastic. They went into how the conservation fund that Busch Gardens and SeaWorld puts on is able to care for these animals. And like with the gorillas, they said they in the wild have a lifespan within their 20s and 30s, but in protective status they're able to reach into like the 50s, which is absolutely fantastic. But like I said, a lot of the footage was cut short with the gorilla tour because of that reason, and I wasn't able to film as much of myself talking about the tours because during that time frame a pretty bad storm came through, and it was pretty much raining and lightning periodically throughout the day. So this is why I'm here at home filming this for y'all. So here's the footage, and I hope you enjoy.
Yeah, 11:45. These people I just had to do a pre-book. They were told people, so of course they were balanced. You guys want to get it.
What doesn't matter?
So they're pretty similar to the Galapagos tortoises, but from different islands. So they've evolved to look very similar and eat all the same foods and be about the same size, but they're just a little bit smaller than the Galapagos tortoises. So I like to stop you here because it's really hard to explain where they're from. They're from what's called the Aldabra Atolls, and so that's how they get their name, which is these little tiny yellow spots on this map. That's it. The only place they're found in the entire world is these little islands off the coast of Tate. So we have 2 boys and 2 girls. So we will get a chance to interact with them, but I kind of want to introduce everyone first. Just be careful since he's on the move. I don't want you guys to get trapped against a wall or a rock. So if he starts to come towards you, just move around him. He'll turn around in all different directions. Hey buddy. So this is Tate. It's a male tortoise. So he is 13 years old, and he was hatched here at the park. So we got him as an egg. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, you can bring them around. So we received him as an egg. He was not created here. But a few things about him. One, he's probably only about half the size that he'll reach, so definitely not full grown. Normally takes them about 25 to 30 know their exact lifespan.
Oh my goodness.
He's ready. He's so ready. And a neat thing to point out about Tank, and that's because Tank has scoliosis. Yes, so his spine is a little bit curved, and their spine is attached to the inside of their shell. It's fused to the inside, which is why they can't ever leave their shell. It's not like a snail, they can just move on. But because it is fused to the inside, the curvedness of his scoliosis shows on the outside. Doesn't seem to cause him any pain. He seems to be growing perfectly normal, but it definitely shows. So he'll forever look just a little bit different. Alright, I'm going to move you guys this way. I'm going to introduce you to the other tortoises. He'll be anywhere from 80 to 100 years old. Yeah, he's an old guy. He came to us as a full-grown adult in 1965. And then the other two are females, and they are both full grown. So we have Brant and BB. And one of them is 50 years old and the other is 60 years old. So everybody thinks that they're babies because they're so much smaller, but that's just a really big size difference between the boys and the girls. Typically, Bubba really loves hanging out with people.
Just a second.
He's like, I'm awkward, I know.
It's got some cantaloupe.
All right, so what we're feeding them today is raw sweet potato. They really, really love sweet potato. All right, so a few things to be aware of when you're interacting with them. Everybody will get a chance to feed and touch. Please watch where your toes are in relation to him. I know he doesn't look super huge, but he's probably around 200, 250 pounds. So if he slams down on your toes, it's not gonna feel very good. So keep your toes away from the bottom of his shell. And then you guys are more than welcome to touch him as well. You can touch him anywhere on his shell. His neck is good. His legs are fine. Not anywhere, but he does have a serrated jaw, so it's still pretty sharp. As you can see, he crunched through raw sweet potato just fine. For any of us, that probably wouldn't feel great. There you go. Oh, we missed it. That's all right. These sticks are made out of bamboo, so it's not a big deal if he gets a chunk of it. You can reach over, feed him. Oh, perfect. Good job. Do you want to touch him? Yeah? So you can touch him on his shell, or his neck, or his legs.
Yeah, on the way, 7, yeah.
Nope, it's okay.
So when you feed him, you guys can check out the inside of his mouth, how he doesn't have any of those teeth in there. Move his neck, where does his neck feel?
Really weird. What's he doing with his leg?
He's just really excited. And so those will continue to grow as he ages, so he'll get more and more rings, kind of like a
Like
tree.
1 year.
It doesn't. Face.
It does.
Your mess, bud. So one of the really cool things to notice is, so what happens when a tortoise gets scared and it wants to protect itself? It goes inside its shell, right? So you can tell what exactly those brown barks, trees. This first tree right here is a crowd pleaser. They're always eating off of that oak tree right there. That's one of their favorites. We do put out different types of enrichment for them every day. You can see over there we have a mineral block. That's just like horses might use a salt block or a mineral block. Gorillas love them as well. And so those are a couple of the things. We grow some trees. We look straight in the middle of all the trees as they turn right down. There's little PVC holes in there. And through those PVC holes we should put jelly, peanut butter, pretty much anything that they can get on their diet we can actually add in there, and then they have to figure out through tool use how to get it out. They're very, very smart, intelligent animals, and they are very, very good at tool use. They all have different types of tool use. So some of them will go find a stick on habitat and fashion it to make it work for them. Others will just slurp it like a straw. So they all, it's just like we kind of have our own way of doing things. You guys go to the dentist? Alright, do you guys think our gorillas terrible, right? So they don't actually drive, they get luxury care where we serve as that intermediate doctor. Oh! What exploded. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
right? We know that we can recycle our paper, plastics, aluminums, all of these things. If we actually recycle our electronics, then we're going to directly help save gorillas in Africa, which is a pretty important thing to us. Yeah. All right, so if you guys want to put your gloves in the bucket once you're done, then you guys do that just before you your phone. I'm going to throw a couple of snacks over there for you guys to eat over.
I wish you could come out on this side for the
The
sun.
sun, yeah. So she came out for just a little bit.
Yes, you